Are we all set?
Okay. Okay, can start.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. A very good morning to all watching this e-class session from wherever you are. Welcome to e-class BI UPSR on the 5th of May, beautiful Sunday, 5th of May 2020. Right, so Alhamdulillah, we are now live via the YouTube, beaming all over Malaysia, and I hope there are a lot of students out there taking advantage of this COVID-19 episode to actually continue to study at home. All right, today we are lucky to have a very experienced teacher with us who will be sharing tips and on English for UPSR. All right. And the person that I'm talking about is Cikgu Nirmala, coming to you live from. Cikgu Nirmala coming you live from Tawau, Sabah. Right, but before we do that, let us begin the day. Let us begin this session with a doa so that our meeting today online will be blessed and we will be able to take advantage of the knowledge that will be shared by our teacher. All right, so let's do this together.
Tak, clear doktor.
Dia dengar tak?
Tak clear. Dr. Azma. Dr. Azma.
Ya. Yeah.
Boleh teruskanlah sebab tak dengar.
Okay. Okay, since some technical difficulties here. All right, so we're going to continue with the agenda of today. We have with us, as I mentioned earlier, a very experienced teacher, Madam Nirmaladevi from SK St. Patrick, Tawau, Sabah. She is originally from Penang, and she has actually taught English for the last 20 years, specializing in language studies in TESOL, and has actually taught everyone from kindergarten all the way to the university. So you can see the 20 years experience is actually a very vast experience. And for that, she has been rewarded with Excellent Service Award twice in her career. And 2019 seems to be the most productive year for her. She was awarded 3 major awards: the Excellent Teacher Award from the Ministry of Education, the Excellent Teacher Award from the Calvary Church and School Board of SK St. Patrick, and she was also one of the top 30 Microsoft Innovative Educator expert. So I'm sure those of you who are watching out there will gain a lot from our session today. So kids, be ready with your pen and paper so that you can take notes on the tips that will be shared to you by Madam Nirmala. So without further ado, I am going to hand over the screen to Madam Nirmala to begin her presentation. Please, the stage is yours. Go ahead, Nirmala.
Mana dia? Madam Nirmala. Madam Nirmala. We can hear you. Oh, leaving.
Hello, Nirmala. Please
No,
come in.
I think she's got she's got a problem with her network, so she's tried to log in for one more time. Maybe we can wait. Oh, she's still here. Nirmala, we can see you finally, but we can't hear you. Do you have any earphone? We can see you, but we can't hear you. Can see you now, but we can't hear you.
Still cannot hear you, Nirmala. We still cannot hear you.
Sarah 9093, can you please off your video?
C Sarah 9093. Can you please off your video?
Boy?
Can you please off your video? The video is on. While we wait for Madam Nirmala, can you please off your video?
Okay, Nirmala. Are you okay? Oh, you can't hear. Nirmala, maybe you can use earphone.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, we can hear you. Morning.
Good morning. Bella, I'm so sorry. Just now, I do not know what happened. I couldn't hear anything after doctor's introduction.
Okay, we
So
can
I have to
and
use my
now.
phone. Can we start? Can we start? Can you hear me?
We can start.
Okay. So the voice is from my handphone, and I will share screen from the laptop.
Okay, sure.
Thank you. Sorry for kept waiting.
Okay, bro.
Yeah. A very good morning to Dr. Asma, DCA team members, Cikgu Bella, Cikgu Sharifah, Cikgu Aman, and the rest of my fellow students, as well as the audience, parents, teachers, and students out there. A very good morning. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I'm so sorry for taking up your time because there was a problem in reconnecting. Okay, now I would like to share my screen.
Maybe if you have a earphone, you can use your earphone.
Get connected to this. No, let's do it first. Okay, this one is it? Very cool.
Cikgu di mana?
Ya, cikgu. Hah? Hah? Mute di laptop. Oke, cikgu. Tapi echo bang. Sekejap ya, cikgu. Ada Bantu sound.
Let's mute.
To those who are watching out there, please be patient. This is one of the, what do you call it, the challenges of technology. When we are very far away from everybody, the possibility of our network being a problem is always there. So please be patient. We'll wait for Cikgu Nirmala to be ready and to share with us what she has prepared for us today. Yeah.
Suruh dia buat nih.
Okay.
Hello, how are you? Can't see any picture.
The next slide. I'm not sure whether you can see this or not. If you notice that English language writing paper, the format, the code is 014. Actually, there are 3 sections in
This
this.
is not.
My voice?
Your voice okay, but your slide is not appear yet.
On the screen, yes.
Okay, so
Can you share? I think you need to click on the PowerPoint or
share
something.
button. Yeah, share button. Yeah.
Share screen, desktop, and then click on the
Yeah.
PowerPoint.
Yes. Okay, click that. Go here.
Wait. Ah.
Can see? Now can you all see? I did click the share screen.
No, I can't see.
You choose this. You choose the desktop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and all right, we'll wait and go
The
to your
minute.
PowerPoint.
Okay, there are 3 sections. First section is section A. Section A, the marks is 10 marks. Students are required to fill in 5 blanks. All right. Section B, B1, 3 marks. Students are expected to list down some some information. Then section B2, students are expected to write an essay for 50 to 80 words, whereby the marks is 12 marks. Section C is 25 marks, narrative writing. So I'm going to wait for a minute for the slides to be seen by the students.
Just now your screen was already appeared, but you did not click the PowerPoint, I think. The screen.
Oh,
You need to go to the PowerPoint after you share screen.
yeah,
To desktop and then go to your PowerPoint.
yeah. And then click the word share. Yeah, that's what I've done just now. Very slowly. Can you share screen? Connecting. Then press this one. Share screen. Okay, go to that PowerPoint.
Nirmala, share screen, desktop first, and then only
Desktop.
put your PowerPoint.
Desktop. Yes, we are doing that, doctor.
You're still not able to see your PowerPoint.
Yeah, we are trying.
Hold on.
It's written here. Hold on.
Okay.
Something went wrong.
From hotspot, you can't connect.
Okay.
Hang on a minute, doctor. Everything is okay. My network is okay. The internet line is quite fast.
Fred, can you please switch off your video, please? Switch off your video. There is a button down there for you to mute your video.
Connect from. Okay, connecting. Usually I can share the screen, you know. Huh? No, I don't want to use that because I want to write something on the slides. No, you go to here, share screen, directly go to. Doctor, hang on a minute, we are sorting out the problem. Try my hotspot.
I cannot connect the hotspot now.
Okay or not? There's something went wrong. Can't connect to the network. Then use my hotspot.
No, that's the problem.
Refresh now.
No, don't disturb. You have to connect to the internet now first. That's the problem.
Okay,
I
connect.
keep on connecting to the internet, cannot connect. I don't know why. Yes. I don't know lah. This laptop always like this. From the first day I use.
teachers. So what are you expected to know in your textbook? Mostly related to vocabulary, grammar, sentence patterns, the format of writing, and some other elements that is in your textbook. Your textbook is your reference for preparation for your examination as well as for UPSR. Next slide. Okay. So elements to cover overall, you need to read for pleasure, you need to know vocabulary, you need to know the knowledge of grammar, sentence patterns, and you need to read a lot of sample answers. So because most of us, we cannot cover all types of questions in the classroom. So due to that, I always encourage my students to read sample answers. So sample answers here, you can get a lot of questions with answers from your teachers as well as from the market out there, from the bookshops. So what you're expected to do is that to ask you to read few essays per day is good enough. At least one essay a day. If you read one essay a day, at least you are able to know the flow of the story, the how to write the story nicely, how to write introduction, the points, how to develop the points, and also the closure. All right. So here you will also learn vocabulary. You will learn you will learn similes, proverbs, idioms, in order to make your writing more nicer. All right. So I will always encourage my students at least to read one essay per day. All right. Once you read one essay per day, by the time you are going to sit for UPSR, you have a lot of information related to writing an essay, because writing cannot happen overnight. You need to practice. You need to read. Sometimes as a teacher, when I want to write something, I can't simply write. I need to do some reading. So once I've done my reading, then only I'm able to write on the topics that I intend to write. Same goes to you. Magic is no magic. You have to read. You have to read a lot of essays in order for you to get ideas. Once you have the ideas, you have the vocabulary, automatically you are able to be a good writer. All right, so please read one essay per day. And of course, after that, you need to do a lot of practice. Okay, having in mind that you have done a lot of reading, you have done a lot of practice in answering questions related to grammar, vocabulary in your year 4, year 5. When you come to year 6, it's like joining everything together. So meaning to say, you are going to put whatever you have learned in year 4, year 5, you're going to put everything together in one piece of work. All right. So meaning to say, you need to really work hard from now onwards in order to be a better writer. All right. It doesn't happen overnight. As what I say, you need to do a lot of practice. Once you have done your practices, you have to show to your teacher, let your teacher mark, and then your teacher will give feedback. No point if you're doing and then you're marking on your own and you never get your teacher's help. And even I assign some of my students who are quite good in the groups, I assign them to help their friends to read their answers. Then they come and see me. All right. So this is like collaboration, cooperation, helping among each other. You can always ask help from your friends to help you in order to check your answers before you seek your teacher's help. So that is another way of learning. Learning can happen in any forms. All right. Next slide, Doctor. All right, getting to know your grammar. Yes, this is very important. Okay, when I'm talking about grammar, right? You need to know about nouns, articles, pronouns, conjunctions, prepositions, adjectives, adverb, modals, present tense, past tense, future tense, sentences, and punctuation. You may ask me, teacher, how to master all this? You can't master everything in a very short period. What you have to do is that do not worry about grammar. You can just do a lot of practices just grab a book, one or two books of a grammar, and start practicing. All right. Okay. Maybe today you started with nouns, so cover everything related to nouns in 1 or 2 days. Then if you get any mistakes in your along the way after you check your answers, get help from your friends or your teachers to tell you why you get it mistake. All right, because if you never ask your teachers, you will keep on doing the same mistakes, all right? So once you keep on doing the same mistake, if let's say it's tested in your exam, school examination or UPSR, you will definitely make a mistake, all right? So grammar needs a lot of practice, understanding, and memorizing, all right? So it doesn't happen overnight, as I told you. Do every day, like what I'm doing with my students. Like for example, today if I give them nouns, next 2 days they will focus on nouns. Then after that I'll move on to articles, pronouns, conjunction. Then when you are doing your writing, you will find that you will be using all these grammar elements when you are writing an essay. So this is very important. There's no magic formula to master grammar, but you have to do a lot of practice. Practice makes perfect. You don't have to so worry looking at my slide with so many elements of grammar here, because you still have around maybe I think about 5 more months for you to practice. I'm sure if you are practicing every day and you are helped by your friends and your teachers, and also of course during this PKP time, your parents, your siblings, if they are helping you, I am very sure you are on the right track. You don't have to worry. All right. So I know grammar is very tedious. It's difficult for some of you, but do not worry. The formula is keep trying, keep memorizing, keep practicing. All right. Doctor, next slide. All right, we come to section A. Section A is a bonus for all of you because it is related to filling the blanks. So what you are expected to do is that, all right, first of all, you need to know that section A, 10 marks. Each blank is given 2 marks. What you have to do is that always I tell my students, make use of your ruler. All right, take your ruler. Okay, use your ruler to read between the lines. Okay, well, I always feel that once you put your ruler in between the lines, you are able to see, you are focused, your eyes can see carefully at the words, at the phrases, at the sentences, so that you are more focused. All right, so take a ruler, put underneath the instructions, and then you read the instructions carefully. Okay, read the instructions carefully. And then after that, what you're supposed to do is that you have the instructions are given in Bahasa Malaysia and also in English language and Bahasa Malaysia, right? So you have to read both of the instructions. If let's say you can't really understand the instruction in Bahasa Malaysia due to some words like confusing you, we are going to use English language instructions. Always remember, we will use English language instructions. So I think Chinese, as you can see, you will have instructions in English and Chinese. As you can see, most probably you have in English and Tamil. So what you have to do, English language instruction will be used, okay? When you read and to make you understand. All right. My advice is always read the instructions and underline, because I have students who do not want to read the instructions. That is very dangerous. Your first step is read the instructions. All right. So once you read the instructions, you are safe. Okay. Clear about that? All right. So once you have done the reading of instructions, you have to look at the pictures. Okay, the advertisement or the poster that is given. Okay, once you look at the advertisement or poster, most probably pictures are given. Pictures, boys and girls, when the pictures are given, please look at the pictures carefully. Pictures are not given for illustrations, okay? Pictures are given for you to get some ideas, get some answers, and for you to focus on what you are expected to see in the next upcoming text. Okay, I hope I'm clear until here. All right, then once you have read the information, I mean the advertisement or the poster or the dialogue given carefully, you need to look at the text given. The text given actually got 5 blanks, all right? So you need to read as a whole first. Read as a whole first, all right? Do not rush, okay? Your patience is very important. I do not know why some of my students are very rushing. They like to rush in order to answer the questions. I always say, please be patient. Okay, please be patient. All right, please be patient in order for you to understand what is the text about and how you're going to connect the text with the poster or the advertisement given. Okay, once you have read that, what you're supposed to do is that you need to underline the clues. Okay, need to underline the, shortly I will show you. You need to underline the clues, all right? Either you are going to take directly from the poster, you don't have to change anything. For example, red color. So maybe you have to write straight away red color, or you may have to add some words, for example, in the house. Example, I'm telling you, the choice given there, the house, from the advertisement, you can see that the house. But maybe you have to add in the house. Maybe sometimes you have to remove one or two words. For example, in the text is shown there to go. Maybe you need to write there going in the text. All right? All right. So, and then I always stress this to my students. I always tell them, once you have filled in all the answers, please check for your grammar, your punctuation, your sentences, or your phrases and spelling. Read the text again, because I notice most of the students, I do not know why you all are so rushing. You do not want to do second reading and check. So once you have checked, you move on to next section. Then the same thing applies. Then you move on to the next section and then leave about 10 minutes for you to read through every section and for you to see whether you have made any mistakes, you want to make any changes. Okay, so cross-checking your answers is very, very important. Okay, but I don't get to see many students are doing this, always rushing. I do not know why. You are given 1 hour 15 minutes, you can allocate 10 minutes for section A, then go to the next section 20 minutes, and then another section maybe 45 minutes, 40 minutes or 30 minutes. You understand? So please do not rush. Your patience, ya. In Malay we say kesabaran. Kesabaran itu penting, ya. So baca dengan teliti dan jawab bagus-bagus. Selepas itu cek balik jawapan kamu tu. Alright, that is very important. Alright, no point rushing, you know. If you're rushing, you cannot score. Sometimes when you are rushing, my students, I notice when they are rushing, capital P will be small p, capital B will be small b, so we have to minus marks there. Okay, alright. Next slide, doctor. Okay, look at this. Alright, this I've taken from your textbook, actually. Most of my reference for today is from the textbook. As I told you earlier, textbook is your guide, all right? So when you get this answer, this question is section A. You see, first of all, I told you to read the instruction. I'm sorry, I can't use my stylus to show you. Perhaps Dr. Asma can show on the instruction, please. Okay, the instruction, yeah, look at the cursor that Dr. Asma is showing. Boys and girls, as I told you earlier, make use of your ruler. Make use of your ruler, please, yeah? All right, so you need to, while you're reading, please underline. Study the notes and picture below. Use the information to complete the following text. The question, the instruction clearly state there that you need to read carefully, look at the picture. It's already there, meaning to say you really need to look at the pictures. All right, and then the Malay, you need to read Malay rubric. All right, instruction in Malay. Teliti maklumat dan gambar di bawah. Gunakan maklumat yang diberi untuk melengkapkan teks yang berikutnya. Meaning to say the answer is already there in the picture, in the poster, in the advertisement. So your duty is to read and just take from the poster the information and fill in the blanks. This is to help our weak and average student, and also high proficiency students to score in your examination. whatever I'm telling you is not only for UPSR, but my concern is for your daily survival. Daily survival meaning to say what you're doing in your classroom. You need something to hold on. You need to have something to hold on to survive. So your goal is not only for UPSR, but as a learner to acquire the reading techniques and be patient in what you're doing. Okay, that is my goal actually. All right, not only for UPSR, but for you as a learner to develop in you the skills on how to read, how to understand, how to look for answers. Okay, all these are very important for you to survive even until secondary school. All right, so once you have done reading of the instruction, okay, look at the cursor that Dr. Azma is showing on the poster. Look at the poster there. The many uses of computers. Okay, first of all, look at the picture of the computer. All right, it's very nice, right? So look at it first. Okay, the computer is there, the keyboard is there, the mouse is there, the CPU is there, and you can see 4 circles there, right? So look at the pictures first. I'm sure students, you all are attracted to pictures, right? So look at the pictures first, but in your exam paper, everything will be black and white. So please don't think that it's going to be colorful, okay? It's going to be black and white. So you, whether you like it or not, you need to enjoy looking at the picture, which is which is like black and white, okay? All right, now look at the first point there, okay? Dr. Azma, please show at the railway station. Okay, all right, thank you, doctor. All right, see, railway station and airports. Okay, look at that information carefully, boys and girls. First one, can I get one of my students to read about railway stations and airports?
Okay. Can one of the students in Teams read? Switch on your mic.
Yeah.
All right, please, one person read about railway stations and airports.
Me, madam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please,
go ahead.
Alia, please read. Go ahead, Alia. Can you see the slide, Alia? Are you able to read?
Switch on your mic and read.
I'm not sure what's happening. It's okay. When she's ready, she can continue. Okay.
Madam, can I read?
Yes, please read the 4 information in the 4 circles slowly, one by one. Please read.
Railway station and airports. Booking tickets, giving information on the arrival or departure of trains and aeroplanes.
Education.
Education, teaching and learning, doing calculation.
Next one, finance.
Finance, storing information for different account holders. Keeping records on cash and checks.
All right. What about office administration?
Office administration, typing and printing documents, sending and
Receiving.
receiving emails.
Okay, thank you. Well done, Alia. Thank you. All right, now.
That was me, madam. That was Cassie.
Oh, Kasih. All right. Sorry. Okay, Kasih, thank you. All right. So once you have done reading, if you find that you feel you want to read the second time, please go ahead, okay, before you answer the questions. Like personally, if you ask me, I will advise my students to read at least twice. All right. Once you have done the reading, look at the text. So perhaps doctor can show the text cursor. Point the cursor at the text. All right. Now, I informed you just now, you need to read the text as a whole, right? First, we can use computers at railway stations or airports. We can use them. Okay, the answer is required. Computers are also used to give what? The arrival and departure times. Then we also use them in education. We use them in education for what? In what? We can also use them in something. There are many other uses of computers. So once you have done the reading, all right, so what I'm expecting you to do is that think for about 1 or 2 minutes of the answers. All right, so I'm giving you all time at least about 1 or 2 minutes, all of you, think the answers for the 5 blanks. All right, so after 1 minute or 2 minutes, I'm going to get one of the students to tell the answer. Okay, students out there, please look at the text, write in your exercise book, the answers. Do not copy the text, just the answers. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Make sure your capital letters, small letters are correct. Your spelling is correct. Whether you need to add something, some words or a word, or you need to remove a word or 2 words, you have to think. Okay, I think it's about 1 or 2 minutes already. Can I have one student to give me the answers and then I will discuss?
Madam?
Yes, can you read and give answer for number 1 first?
Okay. We can use computers at railway station or airports. We can use them for booking tickets.
All right, you stop there. All right, boys and girls, just now my student has given the answer for booking tickets. You look at railway stations. Can you see the clue there? Booking tickets.
Yes.
All right, we can booking tickets, but she has given the answer for booking tickets. So here you need to add the word for in order to make it correct in a sentence. All right, for example, we can use them. If you write there booking tickets, something is missing there. So you need to add on the word for. We can use them for booking tickets. So if you write for booking tickets, correct spelling, correct punctuation, you are given 2 marks. Okay, so in the school, your teachers will give you 2 marks. Let's say you did not put the word for. Can somebody off the microphone? Okay, let's say you did not write the word for. Okay, listen carefully, boys and girls out there. I can't write anything on the screen, so you just take note. Yeah, listen to teacher. For example, if let's say you didn't write the word for. Okay, if you didn't write the word for, Dr. Azma, back to the slide. Yeah, thank you. You are given, if let's say you did not write the word for, you only write there booking tickets. All right, the plural form, the S is there, correctly written booking tickets, your teacher will give you 1 mark. All right, so 1 mark for the grammar part, 1 mark, you lose 1 mark there. So I really hope that you do a lot of practice and do not give up on this. Do not lose any marks here. Okay, but let's say you write there booking tickets, but you forget to write, you accidentally did not write the word S, booking tickets. You put there booking ticket, your teacher will give 0 mark for you because the content there is a mistake in content. So meaning to say your content, booking tickets, you are given the opportunity to look at the text. So copy exactly the same. This one we call that tiru bagus-bagus. You don't copy wrongly, all right? That's why I say you need to have patience in writing, all right? You do not jump very fast, then your eyes cannot see, all right? So my students, sometimes they do make this mistake, so I always advise them, look carefully and write properly, all right? Your handwriting, very important, okay? So you get what I said just now. If let's say booking tickets correctly written, 1 mark. For booking tickets, 2 marks. If let's say no for, the word for is not there, so meaning to say only 1 mark is given. Let's say booking tickets, You spelled it wrongly, 0 mark. Okay, this is how we mark in school level. All right. Okay, next. Can you continue, girl? Hello, can I have my student? The same girl?
Me, madam.
Yes.
Computers are also used to give important information.
Important.
Informations.
Okay, important information. All right. She said just now, important information. All right. So here, all right, computers are also used to give important information. Okay. Important information need to have another word after that. Okay, important information on the arrival and departure times. Okay, computers are also used to give important information on the arrival and departure times. Okay, so you need to look at the text. Okay, girl, you need to look at the text. Students out there, you see the word there, arrival and departure times in number 2 there. So you underline in your text and then look at the first bubble there. That is arrival or departures, right? You have the clue there. Look for the clue from the text to the bubble there in the advertisement poster. Okay, after you have seen arrival and departure, you underline in the poster, then you will see the information. For example, you will see the information computers are also used to give. In the text, it's written there to give, but in the poster, giving. So since they have, it is already there to give, no need to write to give, giving again, because they have already, the question, the text, it has been changed to give. So no need to write giving. You just cross out giving. You look at information on. All right. So just now the student, she missed out information on. So information on, it's directly, ya, ambil directly, ya, bulat-bulat dari situ, letak saja di nombor 2. Okay, to give information on. Okay, the question, the answer is already there in the poster. Information on. So, like just now, the student put the important information on. Let's say it is correct, so I will give 2 marks. If let's say just now she missed out the word on, I will only give 1 mark. Okay, she add on important information. It shows that her credibility in using the language. She add on important information. So it sounds correct. So marks can be awarded by your teacher in the school. All right. So be careful of the word like for, on. Please take note, yeah, students. Words that you need to take into consideration for this section: for, on, in, into, at. All right. So these are the common words that you need to know. The usage of in, on, at, for. All right. So you need to know because most probably you may have to use in this section, right? So you are. I hope you are clear with the 2 marks and 1 mark. All right. Providing important information with correct spelling. Wrong spelling, 0, because she didn't put there on. Right. Next, can you read? Girl, can you read the third sentence? We can
also use them in education. We use them in education of learning and teaching.
Your answer is of teaching and learning. Of teaching and learning, is it? Okay, I think she said of teaching and learning. Okay, we use them in education of teaching and learning. Okay, look at the word education, circle the word education, then the next sentence is referring to education, circle the word education, and then go to the bubble that stated their education. Okay, circle the poster there, written the word written there, education, look at teaching and learning. Okay, so once you want to make sure you write in a sentence as a complete sentence, you need to put the word teaching and learning first. Then you need to see whether you have to add on any words that I mentioned just now. We use them in education. She mentioned just now, my student said, of teaching and learning. So the word of is wrongly used here, but her answer, the content, teaching and learning, jawapan dia tu memang betul. So teaching and learning is given 1 mark, but because she has put there off, so she couldn't get another mark, okay? Another mark for the mistakes, okay? So meaning to say she only gets 1 mark for teaching and learning. Okay, your answer should be for teaching and learning. Kalau your answer is for teaching and learning, meaning to say you are given 2 marks by your teachers. Okay, for teaching and learning. If let's say no for, only teaching and learning, you are given 1 mark. But again, if any mistakes in the spelling, 0 mark. Okay, all right, next one. Next, we can also use them in. Hello, girl, are you there?
Yes, we can also use them in finance.
Okay, here, all right, the answers, okay, we can also use them in, she said finance, all right, I will accept the answer finance, because the answer, because there's another bubble showing the word finance. Or if let's say in your teachers have another answer, you can also write there doing calculation. All right, doing calculation, for example, we can also use them in doing calculation, also accepted. All right, because I have few answers here. Okay, doing calculation, you directly ambil bulat-bulat from the poster. Doing calculation with correct spelling, 2 marks. Like just now, my student said finance, small f. If let's say she write there finance, capital F, only 1 mark will be given, because you use proper noun. Any parts of the sentences, if you put if you are talking about proper nouns, you can use capital letter, but finance is not a proper noun, so you need to write in small f. So if you write small f in between the sentences, you need to use small letter f. So if let's say accidentally you have written that f besar, f, the capital F, 1 mark only will be given by your teacher. Okay, so again, spelling is very important. All right. Okay, next, last one. Girl, can you read the last one?
Yes.
Yeah, please read and give me the answer.
There are many other uses of computers, such as in office administration.
Okay, all right. She mentioned just now, such as. All right, there are many other uses of computers, such as in office administration. Okay, so here, if the answer is correct, means 2 marks will be given. If let's say you got any spelling mistakes, only 1 mark. The answer is totally wrong, 0 marks. Okay, so here she can also give answer like, there are many other uses of computers in finance and office administration, also accepted. All right, provided, remember, try to do some revision on in, on, at, into, to, okay, prepositions. All right, so because mostly prepositions are being used as add-on words. All right, okay. So can I move on to the next slide? The next slide will be something to do with writing, section B. Doctor, can we move on to section B? I mean the next slide.
Hang on, yeah. Hang on, yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's not moving. There you go.
Okay. Boys and girls, before I move on to section B, I would like to tell you all something with what actually I've been doing with my students, because over these 20 years, a lot of changes I've done in my teaching and all that. This is what I'm using currently. There's no magic in writing. I already told you from the beginning that there's no magic in writing. What you have to do is that not only reading the sample answers is important, you have to pay attention in what your teachers are teaching in the classroom. Okay, so meaning to say your teachers will tell you some steps which you have to follow in order to be a good writer, a better writer. If not an excellent writer, at least a student who can have the weapon, who can have the skills, the knowledge, at least to form sentences and to eventually to write an essay. So this is what I'm giving you, some kind of advice or what you can go through, what you can adopt in as a learner. Okay, first of all, what I usually do is that I brainstorm. Brainstorm here meaning to say, once, okay, let's say you're talking about section B, right? One question is given. So, of course, your teacher will explain to you about it, read the instructions, look at the poster, look at the advertisement, look at here, look at there. She will explain, he or she will explain everything to you. So once you are, your teacher has already given you the explanation, you are expected to discuss with your friends. I always prefer cooperative learning. I always put my students in groups, group of 2, group of 3, group of 4. Group of 5 and 6, for me, I feel too many students. Too many cooks spoil the soup. So due to that, I always prefer to have small groups. And in my class, I have 10 groups, approximately 10 groups in my class. So what I do is that I tell my students, okay, you look at this question. Okay, I want you to discuss and come up with the introduction for this question. All right, so let's say you're focusing on one essay for section B. You need to have introduction, the points, and closure. So I go part by part. So during this brainstorm session, my students will discuss and come up with ideas for introductions. Once they have done the introductions, okay, what I will do is that, okay, doctor, next slide. Okay, what they will do is that they have a whiteboard each. So they write down, all of them will write down the same answers on the whiteboard, the mini whiteboard, using their pencils. And then once they have done, they'll come to me or I will go to them, they will read their answers. All right, once they've done reading of their answers, so what I will do is that I will correct their mistakes. Okay, once in brainstorming session itself, I already introduced to them, I already trained them how to make use of subject, verb, object, magic table. So from the brainstorm session, they are expected to write sentences using SVO magic table. Shortly, I will show you. This is just an introduction. Okay, then here, this part, also, they are reading from their SVO magic table. They have not done the paragraph yet. Mereka belum buat perenggan. Cuma berpandukan, bina ayat berpandukan SVO magic table. Okay, next slide, doctor. Okay, can you play the video? This is a sample of how the students actually done their SVO table and presenting in the class. Okay, next slide. Okay, once they have done, I will correct their mistakes. I will tell them where they are making where is the mistakes, where are the mistakes. I will tell them nicely and then make them understand. After that, the same paragraph, the SVO table, what they will do is that they will write down SVO table in their exercise book and also one paragraph in their exercise book, the same introduction. SVO table, do the correction, and the same paragraph they will write down nicely. Okay, and after that, I will make sure they read again so that I just want to make sure they are on the right track. Next slide, doctor. Then step 4 is that I will give them a piece of mahjong paper. They will write down the short paragraph that they have written after 2 rounds of reading, 2 rounds of checking. On the same paragraph, they will write down on a mahjong paper. Once they have written down on the mahjong paper, next slide, doctor. Okay, after I've done the checking, what they have written on the mahjong paper, what I do is that I ask them to present. Okay, like this group of students, they have done the first round, they're presenting the second round. That's why you can see 2 paragraphs there. Otherwise, just ignore the second paragraph. Actually, I ask them to do the presentation for the first paragraph first. Meaning to say, for the first few times of my training, the students, I will make sure they acquire the skill of writing. All right. Otherwise, for next questions, when I ask them to do the writing, they can't be independent. They cannot be they cannot be independently writing on their own and depending on their friends, copy their friends' answers, or merely copy the answers that I'm giving. So I do not want that to happen to my students. So due to that, I teach them the steps on how to be their own master in writing. But it doesn't happen overnight. I'm struggling for the past 3 months to teach my students because I still have time. They still have time to learn. All right. So for me to teach them, these steps are very important. Next slide, Doctor. So these are my students' work. You can see the tiny pictures over there. On your right hand side is actually the mahjong paper. I crop it to make it small. And the left hand side is one part of section B. Next slide, Doctor. Okay, for section B, I've already told you the steps that I usually do to teach my students writing section B and also section C. All right, so section B got 2 parts. First part is 3 marks. What you have to do is that you need to score this part. All right, 3 marks times 2, 6 marks. So do not make any careless mistakes. I told you, be patient. Use your ruler to read in between the lines and make sure you are able to see everything clearly. All right. So here you are required to read the instructions carefully in English and also in Bahasa Malaysia. Underline the instructions. After that, you need to read the information given properly. All right. Zoom properly. Open your eyes wide and look at what is given in the question paper. All right. Read the text given as a whole, secara keseluruhan dulu. All right. And then after that only you read line by line and answer the questions. All right. We go to this part now. Next, Doctor. Okay. You need to know, boys and girls, you need to know some formats for email, message, e-card, postcard, informal letter, formal letter, notice, speech, greeting card, notes, and announcement. But students, don't get afraid by looking at all this. What happened if during the exam, suddenly I forget the format? Oh my God, what I'm going to do? I do not want to write anything. Please don't do that. Please don't think like that. What you are expected to do is that just write from dear Jocelyn, let's say you whatever given name in the question paper you are expected to write. How are you? You start writing until goodbye. Do not worry about the format if you have forgotten. Just you have 5 more months, try to remember, try to memorize the format, but it's all God's willing. Let's say you have prepared everything and suddenly during the examination, oh my goodness, I forgot the format of postcard. What to do? So don't worry, boys and girls. You just keep on writing. Okay, God will ease your burden. All right, you just keep on writing as what your teachers have taught you. Use all the formulas your teachers have taught you. Use whatever you can according to what is required by the question. You just write. Okay, don't be panicked at that time. Okay. Next, Doctor. Okay, this is like I've already listed down. I've got from some friends about these are the format in year 4, 5, and 6. Perhaps teachers out there, you can write the page numbers by looking at textbook year 4, 5, 6 in order to assist your students. Okay, now I'm coming to the point here. That is subject, verb, object, the SVO table. I think my student, please off the microphone. Okay, SVO table here, boys and girls. All right, here is the magic table. This is not new. This is something that mostly all of the English language teachers are using. But I'm paying special attention in my daily lesson to my students wherever I'm teaching. That is, they must write SVO magic table first before they come up with writing. What do you mean by subject? Subject is actually, you see here, subject is actually focusing on the first part that you're going to write. Subject is actually focusing on a person or thing that is being described. Kita nak menerangkan tentang sesuatu, seseorang, satu tempat, so we use subject. Okay, alright. And then the subject can be he, she, it, are you, we, they. Maybe name of students like Upendra and Afi, Alia and Wafa, Sarah and Ramana, Olivia, Arifa and Zahira, Jivan, Rebecca, Els and Shafiq. Can be one person, Adlina, Fasha, Hudson, Daryl and I, or the cat, the program, or name of places. It can be what you are going to describe. Okay, subject is what you're going to describe first. All right. Then after subject, you need to have the verb, the perbuatan, kata kerja. So the kata kerja here, of course, you need to memorize the verbs. All right. If you do not memorize the verbs, if you are not what you call naturally English language speaker, who meaning to say like you don't use English very often at home, you're only depending on school teachers to teach you and all that. So my suggestion is you need to memorize the regular and irregular verbs. Okay, there are a lot of lists I'm sure your teachers will have done for you. So just memorize the common verbs, all right? Without knowing verbs, I'm doubtful that you can form sentences. Okay, so verb is like your jantung, you know, then you need that in order to form a sentence. All right, I'm talking about primary school level, and I'm going very I'm using very simple subject verb object table here to show you. Okay, all right, so verb here can be verb to be, is, am, are, verb to do, is, am, are, was, were, verb to do, does, did, verb to have, has, have, had, and you have other verbs that I put here. For example, doctor, can we go to another slide? Okay, for example, this is what, yeah? I'm sorry, boys and girls, I was too fast just now. Okay, for example, the first two columns, you see is, am, are, was, were, verb to be. Verb to have, has, have, had, verb to do, does, did, and the rest are your present tense, past tense, and your ing verbs. All right, so all these will come in the verb. All right, you don't have to memorize this, but as long as you remember the pattern. Okay, doctor, the next slide. Here, the next one is the object. Object here, for example, well, you may ask question, who is he? Where is he going? What is he doing? What he has? Something like that. So, for example, he is running around the field. So, what is the object here? We are talking about him who is running around the field. So, same goes to the second one. She is eating an apple. What is she eating? She is eating an apple. Okay, it is a cat. What is it? It is a cat. So that's where you will form a sentence which has subject, verb, and object. I'm not going too advanced here because I'm looking at the level of my students in my school. All right. So my students, they really need simple subject, verb, object table. So I go very simple with them. So once they have mastered this, what they will do, they add on and to make compound sentences, or they will add on some other words to form complex sentences. So eventually your brain will tell you how to form sentences if you are being trained by your teachers to form simple sentences as the basic. Okay, so you need to learn how to write a simple sentence like this verse, okay, which has a subject, verb, and object. Once you have mastered this, then your brain eventually will tell you to use the word and some of the some of the conjunctions to form compound sentences, complex sentences. Because I've seen sometimes my students are very advanced. I will tell them, boys and girls, I only want to say simple sentences. 5 simple. I only want you to write 5 simple sentences. But when I check their answers, they are giving me compound sentences and complex sentences. Why this can happen? Because your brain has a kind of device will tell you what sentences to write, because you have learned English language from standard 1, standard 2, standard 3, 4, 5. So all this knowledge are accumulated in your brain. So definitely you are able to form sentences, but you must get this basic correct. Okay, so that's why I used to ask my students, you know, those were the days, Madam biasanya kan minta my students kan tulis bina karangan, bincanglah apa-apa semua kan sudah diajar macam tadi. So tetapi what I get, the answers that I get, they always make mistake, ya. Kadang-kadang ada subjek, kadang-kadang tiada subjek. Sometimes got subject, object. Example, ya, they'll form sentence like this: he around the field. Tiada pula is runningnya. And then sometimes they write he around the field. He running around the field. Where is the is? So I keep on asking them, where is your is? So rather than I'm giving them stress, so that's why every time they want to form essay, they want to write an essay, it's compulsory for my students to write SEO table. Okay, it's compulsory. Saya wajibkan mereka bina ini dulu. Because I noticed, right, after 3 months teaching them, they are improving. My students are improving. My standard 6 students are improving in forming sentences. They are making less mistakes. Yes, this is what I can assure, that my students are making less mistakes, because subject is like your head, verb is like your neck, object is like your body. I came to know about these parts of the body from a teacher at SIC Plus, which when I went for a conference in Kuching last year. Okay, so it's like your body. So if you have, sometimes they have the head, they don't have the neck, they don't have the body. So it's like very, very stressful for me and my students. So what I do, I tell them, before you write an essay, you must come up with SVO table in your group. So they will come up with SVO table in their group, making simple sentences, and gradually they will form compound and complex sentences. So in your writing, you need to have at least 2 types of sentences: simple and compound, simple and complex, or if you can have 3 types, will be a bonus for you. And you must write in paragraph. Once they master these, they follow the 5 steps I told them, then only they will write in their exercise book or in the worksheet that I've given them. All right? Next slide, Doctor. Okay, the next slide, as I told you, object will be covering all this. Yeah, why, your what, your which, your who, whose, when, where, and how. Okay, if you want me to teach sentences, it will take another new slot. So I'm just giving you brief information for you to survive. Make sure you try to practice SVO and you are on the right track. Okay, next slide, Doctor.
All right, before we go to the next slide, we just have about 8 minutes left, yeah?
Yeah, sure. Okay, boys and girls, look at the poster that I've taken from your textbook, year 6 textbook. Okay, join the Tunas Pet Project Animal Awareness Fair. Okay, this one is actually a poster whereby I told you earlier, you need to look at the poster carefully, look at the date, use your ruler, look at the date, time, venue, audience, admission, officiated by, objectives, activities, NGOs involved. Let's make this event successful. And then look at the pictures. Oh, cute, the cute cats. Okay, look at the pictures given. All right, then after that, what you have to do is that you read everything detailed, as I told you earlier. Then you go to the real, go to the question. Okay, read the questions, read the instructions. Study the notice below, answer the questions that follow in the space provided. So, look at the poster carefully. Teliti notis di bawah, kemudian jawab soalan-soalan yang berikutnya di ruang yang disediakan. The question already, the instruction already telling you, look at the poster, look at the notice. So look at the notice carefully. Do not look anywhere else. Do not think about your own ideology, pengetahuan sendiri. No, look at that first. Alright? After that, name 3 activities you can join. Nyatakan 3 aktiviti yang boleh anda sertai. Di situ sudah ada clue. There you can see the clue. Activities, activity. So can you see the first one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 8 there, activities. So you circle number 8 there, activities. There are 4 dots, right? So if the first dot is football and netball games, you copy exactly football and netball games. Coloring contest, you copy exactly the same. PowerPoint presentations on animal cruelty, you copy nicely. If let's say any one of you want to use pet adoption instead of the other 3, copy exactly. But di situ jangan letak dia, since got 4 answer, jangan pula pandai-pandai pergi letak dia. We will not check on that. Only 3 answers are required. Listing down, senaraikan sahaja with correct spelling, correct capital letter. Let's say PowerPoint. Suddenly, you write there PowerPoint small letter, huruf kecil. So 0 marks will be given. All right, school level we give 0 marks because you didn't follow the instruction. Look at the spelling, look at the capital letter, punctuation, capital letter, small letter given. Okay, you need to follow everything carefully. All right, so once your spelling is wrong, your punctuation wrong, meaning to say your answer is 0. Everything has to be correct. Then you get 1 mark each. All right, next slide, Doctor. Okay, section B. Section B is the part Okay, where you need to, as I always stress, read the instructions carefully, underline the instructions, look at the notice given, underline the clues from the notice, prepare SVO table. I did inform you just now. I told my students all the time to prepare SVO table. You may ask me, during exam, do we have time? You are going to sit for exam few times in a year and UPSR only once. But you have 5 months to practice every day at home or in your classroom. So you have to practice SVO table. Then once you practice for these 5 months, when you're sitting for your UPSR exam or your school exam, 2 months once, definitely you can do. All right. So I won't accept any reason of my students telling me, Madam, not enough time. Definitely there will be enough time. Practice. You need to practice every day, SVO table. If you didn't practice SVO table, boys and girls, you are going to repeat the same mistakes in forming sentences. All right? So you write in paragraphs. Make sure wajib tulis dalam bentuk perenggan. At least 2 paragraphs. Okay, 2 paragraphs. Okay, write about 8 to 12 sentences. All right, combination of sentences, simple and compound sentences. Check your grammar, punctuation, spelling, sentences, and write neatly. Sometimes as a teacher examining your papers, right, my students' papers, I feel like I need to use a binoculars, you know, to check the look at into the spellings, to look at the spellings, because too tiny. You need to write nicely with nice pencil, you know, the 2B pencils. Okay. And then count your words. Okay, you later shortly in a few minutes I'm showing you how to count the words. Okay, after the next slide. Okay, here the question already tell you, look at the poster. You are going to announce the Tunas Putri pet project in the school assembly. Using the information provided on the invitation, write the announcement. You may include the details such as, you circle the word date, time, venue, objectives, and activities. Write your answers between 50 to 80 words. So you read in Bahasa Malaysia also. The question has given you clue that look at the poster. You look at the poster, join the Tunas Pet project. You don't write about another project that you have involved in your hometown, in your school. Okay, you need to look at this project and talk about this project only. Do not talk about any other outside project. Okay, so the question has given you, Tunas Pet project is going to organize an animal fair too. So you need to rewrite it back. All the questions is already printed there. So you need to continue from, you need to write the first one is what? You circle the word date, time, and then venue, you circle objectives, and you circle activities. All right. Make sure 50 to 80 words, do not exceed 80 words. All right. What if I exceed? Do not ask for trouble. So we always tell the students in the school, please write 50 to 80 words. Do not ask for trouble by writing more than 80 words or less than 50 words. The question stated sudah dinyatakan di situ. 50 to 80 words, please train these 5 months 50 to 80 words. All right? All right. So next, I told you, right? Next slide, doctor. All right. So you need to focus on the date. Tulis besar-besar di situ, ya. Date, time, venue, objective, activity. The answers are there. Underline. Okay. Tunas Pet project is going to organize an animal fair to. You see the word to there, right? Your objectives. So you just copy there. Raise awareness on animal cruelty among adults and school children. Full stop. Sorry, not full stop. And to raise funds to stop cruelty against animals. All right, you write that. Then the next paragraph, you can focus on date, time, and venue. The next paragraph, you can focus on objectives. On activities. If you have done about activities earlier, you can focus about, just now, your first paragraph, you focus on objective because the word to there, giving you the clue for objectives. Then second paragraph, you focus on date, time, and venue. And the third paragraph, you can focus on activities. All right. So next slide, doctor, we are finishing. Okay, this slide here, can you see on your left-hand side, I get my students to write on subject, verb, object. You see the first sentence there, subject, look at it on your left-hand side. Subject is Tunas Pet project is going to, the object is to organize. Whatever after subject, after verb, I told them to put in object. Do not worry about anything else after that. Just put everything under object. Okay, to organize an animal fair to raise awareness on animal cruelty among adults and school children, and to raise funds to stop cruelty against animals. Then the next sentence, the program will be held, then your object will be on 12 April 2020 at 8 a.m. in Harmony Hall. Then it goes to the second paragraph. Okay, second paragraph, the pupils, parents, and teachers, okay, the verb here is are free to enter this fair. And then the next one subject is it will be officiated by Encik Nur Razak bin Hasbullah. And then the activities are football and netball games, coloring contests, PowerPoint presentations on animal cruelty and pet adoption. Then the last one will be the NGOs involved are Paws Animals Welfare Society and Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. So this is how, okay, this is how my students will always do for section B, writing a sentence for subject, SPO table, subject, verb, object. Then after I've done the checking, first paragraph, the 5 steps, second paragraph, the 5 steps, third paragraph, the 5 steps I told you earlier, then they will write into paragraphs. Always remember the paragraph from first paragraph itself, jarakkan 2 jari, indent, okay, indent, first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, and after one paragraph, you leave a line, go to second paragraph, leave a line, and make sure write nicely. And then counting of words. Doctor, the next slide. Okay, counting of your words. All right. Here, this is very important. Yeah, counting of your words is very important. For example, Puan Jumiati bintu Suparno, 4 words. All right. SK St. Patrick Tawau, 4 words. Sekolah Kebangsaan St. Patrick, 4 words. Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah Tawau, 4 words. Practice makes perfect, 3 words. RM 10, 10 ringgit here, 2 words. As happy as a king, 5 words. 9 a.m., 2 words. 3 o'clock, 2 words. So when you count, Doctor, can we go back to the earlier slide? So when you count here, boys and girls, okay, you do not have to count Tuna's Pet Project is going to organize an animal fair too, because this is given by the question. So once given by the question in your school or UPSR, you do not count until here. What your counting starts from the word race until SPCA. All right, so once you counted, make sure it is 50 to 80 words. If it is more than 80 words, I want you to just cross out. Ambil pembaris, garis sahaja. Perkataan itu lurus-lurus, pasti potong dia. You understand? You must cut it off. Alright, you must cut it off, but do not erase. Jangan padam sehingga nampak lubang-lubang di penulisan kamu. I'm so sorry, I cannot scribble, so I can't show you, but you can follow my Facebook, Nirmaladevi Kandasamy. There, usually I show some samples and all that. Okay, so most important, boys and girls, you need to follow, you need to learn SVO magic table. Otherwise, you will keep on making mistakes until your UPSR examination. Okay, the next one I just browsed through for 1 minute. Next slide, Doctor, just very fast. Okay, as students, learning doesn't happen overnight. You need to read a lot of storybooks. Like in our school, we inculcate reading habits. So we ask the students to read all time around. So we have reading corners everywhere in our school with our panel teachers and other panel teachers. Next slide, Doctor. And then as students, you try as much as possible, involve yourself in any project-based learning. Your teachers are encouraging you to join. Do not like afraid to join any project-based learning. Like my students, we encourage them to join project-based learning, whereby they've created herbal garden. Along the way, they learn to use the Microsoft tools like Minecraft, Kahoot, Pregrief, PowerPoint. So many things they've learned along the way. So your teachers are giving you, if they are giving you opportunity, please make use of opportunities. Like my students, you join in quite a number of project-based learning, you will learn the language. Most important, learn to speak the language. All right, next slide, Doctor. Finishing already. Okay, then we have, as Dr. Azma told you earlier, my teaching always full of fun, and I want my students to feel the happiness of learning. So due to that, I do a lot of projects like sandwich making, bumblebee, and quite a number of a lot of interesting teaching that attract my students' attention. So whatever your teachers are doing in your classroom, please appreciate and learn. And any projects, please get your involvement 100%. Okay, next, doctor. And we have a lot of projects, as I told you, from the textbook itself, making the hand puppet instead of foot puppets, making sandwiches, error analysis. All right, the students are becoming the teachers to correct the mistakes. Okay, next, doctor. And also, I have a Skype session from my fellow friends, Cikgu Go, Cikgu Aisha, Linda, and quite a number of friends from around the world, where my students share our experience as what we have as in Malaysian culture to others, and also getting to learn from others as well. Okay, in order to enrich your language capability. Speaking is my ultimate goal, to enable my students to learn to speak English language. Next, doctor, finishing. Okay, and also we have programs like English Language Speaking Day every Thursday in our highly immersive program, whereby we encourage the students to speak English language, and speaking English language will really help you in your writing as well. So students will be doing their job as MC, presenting, and a lot of activities, exciting activities we create for them. Okay, next. Okay, staying at home. Okay, these 3 weeks we have been staying at home, but I'm sure all of the teachers are helping you students, boys and girls. Same goes to my students. I send messages, email, online learning. I create Zoom lessons, online classrooms. I meet my students weekly to check on them. What are they doing? I want to see them. I want to hear their voices. Okay, I give them a lot of exercises in the WhatsApp group, and also in the Google Classroom as well. So seeing my students through Zoom lessons is a blessing for me. I feel so happy to meet my students, and so do they. They are so happy and excited to this kind of phase this time around. Okay, and finishing already, doctor, the next one. Okay, this is what my student did, accordion book about COVID-19 while staying at home. Can we play the video? Can't really hear the voice. I can hear the voice of this girl. And also this is the last one. Of course, she's very enthusiastic, very creative in creating this accordion book. And things can be done with the cooperation of students, parents, and teachers during this time around. I'm very happy to share this information.
Cikgu Nirmala,
yeah,
I think we need to pause here because it's going to be a next session at 11.
Yes.
So
yes.
can you just final words on remote learning?
Okay. So thank you, Dr. Asma, DCA admin, for giving me this opportunity to conduct this lesson. Actually, lessons can be learned at any time, anywhere, and e-learning is one of the important learning that I feel that is actually helping our learners. All right. So students out there, please give cooperation to your teachers, do the work they are giving, and also if you have chances, please have online classes with them. Okay, that's all from me.
All right, thank you very much, Cikgu Nirmala. That was a very, a very productive session, not only for students, but I also feel that it is also very useful for the teachers. There are a lot of tips in there that was presented to you by Cikgu Nirmala. Can you stop sharing so that I can share my...
Okay, stop sharing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I am the one who's sharing.
I'm not sharing.
Okay. All right. All right. So again, on behalf of DC, thank you very much, Cikgu Nirmala, for sharing with us the content that you have shared. I hope students out there got a lot of tips from Cikgu Nirmala, and also teachers have got a lot of tips on how an alternative way of conducting your class. And to end the session, I would like to give the link for the e-quiz for students to take advantage of the session that we have today. So students, you can either scan the QR code or just snap a picture of this URL, and you can actually do it later on your own time, because this is available to you 24/7 as long as the session is on. All right, so again, thank you very much, Cikgu Nirmala. Thank you all students for attending the session this morning. All teachers, parents out there, stay safe, stay home. Let's beat this COVID-19. Thank you,
Yes.
and out from DC e-class session. Thank you so
very
much.
much.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Asma.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Kids, you can switch off by clicking the red button.